Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to the video, and this is a paid request from Nicholas. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, movie reviews, re-reviews, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, video game playthroughs, tier list rankings, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. For those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate it. And Nicholas sent in requests for me to look at a couple Amazing Spider-Man comics, which is interesting. He had me do the first 10, which was very cool. Here we have 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, as you can see here. I don't know why I did that. I'm like the Count on Sesame Street. What the suck? Wonder if there's like a porn version of the Count. 1 sucky dicky, 2 sucky dicky. No, anyway. Sorry, I don't think you come to Spider-Man comics talk about the Count sucking dick, but that's what you come to this channel for. These random tangents in my weird brain. But anyway, first we start with the Amazing Spider-Man number 11. 12 cents. Can you imagine getting anything for 12 cents? Can't get a damn gumball for 12 cents. A comic, you probably have to pay $12 at least for one comic. But anyway, so we have the return of Doc Ock, to me one of the best villains in the Spider-Man gallery. And we have this bit of Betty Brant, which earlier she had mysteriously left town. We find out why that's the case in this. And then we figure out why is Betty Brant losing her mind. Because he cheated on her. And she wants one spider dick and his spider dick, and you belong to me. No, that's not the real answer, of course. But you're supposed to find out. Sopranos Peter Parker's talking about, why did the bitch leave? Why did the bitch leave? And yes, they are releasing Doc Ock out of prison. Now, granted, I would think with the crimes Dr. Octopus committed and how it wasn't that long ago he got arrested. You tell me he didn't even spend like a year in... You can't... I mean, what was the last issue he was in? I can't remember. Does it even say what comic, like what number it was? I can't remember. But couldn't have been that damn long. And yet he's already getting out of jail. Oh, for good behavior. But again, actually that says Spider-Man vs. Dr. Ock issue number 3. So it's issue number 3, we're at 11. So in the span of 8 issues, how long has it been? I would think maybe a couple months, if that. If that. But so you tell me he didn't even spend 1 year in jail? Man, I thought the justice system now sucks. Back then must have sucked even harder dick. Spider-Man enjoying his time. And he even goes to... I like that he even goes to the ward and pretty much, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, what the fuck are you doing? You gotta not release him. And he's like, well, I have to. We can't hold him. He served his time. It doesn't say how long he served his time. You thought justice systems are shitty today, which they are. And also, like, he's able to keep his fucking arms in jail. I don't know if... I mean, why would he be able to keep his arms in jail? Like, no way to dismantle them at all. Okay. But yeah, he could just keep his arms in jail. So we have a bit of Peter as being the scientist. And oh my god, there's Betty Brant. What the fuck she doing? Cheating bitch. We had a Coldplay concert? Maybe they're going to a Coldplay concert. So this is where he gets his tractors. This might have been the first time we had the Spidey tractor, which would definitely be used many times afterward. If you have a yellow car, this is an ugly fucking color. Now, this... okay, I guess it's the road. I wonder how sometimes, like, you know, with this, like, you don't see a background. Like, you see no background here. As some people would argue if that's laziness or not. I mean, a lot of comics did that. Here, almost looked like he was stepping on water, but this is the road. He's going to Philadelphia. This is Betty Brant's brother, and that's why she's doing all this, is because her brother has stuff to pay. This fucking guy. I'm trying to think what what actor he reminds me of. I don't know why I keep thinking like Chaz Palminteri or something. I don't know. Look, the doctor just bitch slaps this guy. A weakling lawyer. It just slaps the shit out of him. Bitch slap style. But, you know, he won't leave. I just can't. So, he's a pussy. Spy's like, I gotta go find this girl. Yeah, but this action bit here. On the boat. Blatty Gadsden. I'm trying to think, what was the line of dialogue? There's a line of dialogue this was I just thought a bit interesting from, I think it's this guy Blatty who says it. I'm trying to remember where this dialogue was. God, I'm trying to remember. Was this earlier, maybe? God, I can't remember. Some like... Oh, no, there's something Spider-Man says. Never mind. I remember what it is now. It's later on. When one of his wisecracks. It shows that he's not invincible. He can even make mistakes, and he fucking slips and screws up his ankle. But it's like, well, you know, he knows that these guys are pushovers, so we gotta find a way to put them a bit down to their level. But it's a line where Spider-Man says, "Oh, I don't want you to skin your pink little knuckles when you fall and go boom." So I think that's yeah, here it is. I won't want you to skin your pink little knuckles when you fall down and go boom. Like, I thought that was a funny line. That was probably my favorite line in the comic. So this guy is getting the gun. Why he doesn't web the gun, I don't know. And this guy can't fucking lie down on the ground. Get behind me! How about you both get on the ground? But no. Stop struggling. Those bullets will hit. Get on the ground then. You don't want the bullets to hit you. Or get the fuck out. And that's why she's pissed, because she thinks Spider-Man killed him. So now he's pissed. And I like that these guys are nothing to him. It's like, fuck you guys. Your gun's empty. Your ass is grass. Just beats the shit out of them. And we still got the Doc Ock thing. So you got a bit of a chase. I like that some of these guys, he's just like, pop. Yeah, when Spider-Man can punch. Because you don't see him punch a whole lot in some of these movies. It shows him thinking on his feet, as well as a bit of his webbing. Using reflexes to steep him and go around. Now was it, I don't know. This is a I don't know, for some reason this reminds me of Face Off when on the boat and it hits the thing and they fly off. But Dot Dot does get away for another day. But he did get the bad guys. Betty Brant is safe. And Betty Brant loves Peter and doesn't hate Spider-Man, but still can't see him. Because Spider-Man was going to tell her his identity. And he's like, nope, not going to do that. This is a really cool shot. This type of shot you see in a lot of other issues and comic book covers, but this is a very cool shot. And you Spidey's ass. No, but yeah, this is a very cool shot. Had the dichotomy of being the regular guy and the hero. Because he stands alone. This I thought was a fun comic. I thought it was a nice usage of Doc Ock. You get a little bit of personal stuff with Betty Brant. I was actually a bit surprised that the brother character got killed. I didn't see that coming. But yeah, a lot of cool like poses and movements for Spidey. Trump of his ingenuity. He didn't just look like a fucking pussy. He looked like he could actually stand on his own 2 feet. Which is nice. And then we got number 12, where we get the rest of the Doc Ock story. Because he did his deed before, and they give you an enticing cover to get people going, wait, he's unmasked? And all these people don't know he's Spider-Man? What the hell's going to happen? How does he get out of this jam? And it shows a little bit of taste to come, why these animals are here, Doc Ock, who escaped in the last issue, the side characters from school and from home and work, and then, of course, J. Jonah Jameson. We have the return of Betty Brant, so to establish her within the cast again. Yeah, Doc Ock doing this thing. And then we set up that Spider-Man, Peter Parker, has the flu. He has some type of flu. And that is what we're going to cause later on his weakening of powers, which will lead to his unmasking. Because he's wondering like what's going on, what's happening. Even because, well, fuck, why am I doing this? You can see it here, you don't see it later on, so I don't know why. I'm like, just wait a few minutes, I'm going to show it to you. So, Doc Ock knows, hey, I'll get Betty Brant. You were with Spider-Man back there. Let's see, you want your hoe? I always forget back to the day that Spider-Man had this thing, the beacon, kind of like the bat signal type of thing, and it was on his utility belt type of thing. At least he did a free ride on a carousel. But we see that Spider-Man is very weak, which will lead to why he loses the fight so much. And also Doc Ock is going, well, wait a minute, why is this guy being a pushover? Why is he being a pussy? I love how he puts it here. I should have known it's that weakling brat Peter Parker. He did it for me. I told him not to take pictures, not be a hero. I actually thought it was kind of a clever way of doing it. Where him being weak shows, okay, Spider-Man has fought Doc Ock before, so it gives a reason why he lost. It gives a reason as to why Doc Ock thinks, okay, this isn't the real Spider-Man, because wait a minute, why is he so weak? And, I don't know, I mean, some may say it's cheap, or they may say it's convenient writing. But this, I thought, in a weird way, kind of, if Peter had the flu and didn't have these powers, I can understand why Doc Ock thought that way. I understand why these people thought this way. Oh, Peter Parker, he's kind of my boyfriend. He tried to do it for me. Oh, J. Jonah tried to send Parker in for a job. Oh, he tried to help her out and be a hero. And I guess in a way it helps his secret identity because now the last person people think is going to be is Peter Parker. Hey, sorry about that. Had to take care of stuff, so I wanted to get any more fucking texts while I'm trying to record the damn video. That's why something happened. I'm like looking, because, I made sure in case there's any emergencies, family and stuff. I'm like, what? And then I'm like, damn, but then I might stop. I'll just finish it, then get back to the video. Can I finish my video with another fucking text? Fucking phones. Sorry, that's nothing to do with this. Best Spider-Man's lucky you don't have fucking phones here. Is trying to get the dot and then did text on this fucking. Well, now we have that fucking AI bitch. Where the hell in Spider-Man Tom Holland style. But where the hell was I? Oh yeah, he got sick and got his ass kicked, and then he apparently one of those 24-hour flus. Cause now he's better, and Liz wants his penis. Cause guess ladies love the heroes. Maybe thinks he has a heroic penis. I don't know. Iconic penis. If it was that fucking girl from Ironheart, that shitty TV show. I've seen one episode, but it was a shitty episode. She probably like, I want the iconic. No, I have the more iconic penis. You're a lady. Well, my clit is more iconic than your penis. Fuck you, lady. She'd probably say that stupid shit because it's such a stupid fucking show. She'd probably say stupid shit like that. Sorry. This is what happens when it's really early, really late, how you want to put it, and I haven't slept yet, and people bother me with fucking texts this goddamn nighttime, morning, whatever you want to put it. Anyway. Sorry, Nicholas. You'll deal a little bit. Did I even mention this was a paid request for Nicholas? I hope so. If not, I apologize. This is a paid request for Nicholas, who wanted this. So if I fucked up, I apologize. I always fuck up. But yeah, I would say the previous Doc Ock story I liked a bit more, just because there was a bit more action. This one, I like the idea with Peter with the flu. I like this kind of interesting conundrum where Liz was now following him. I'm sure before Betty Brant he would have been fine with Liz. By now he's got a girl, so you don't need Liz, and Flash is pissed off. Bit of a weird thing. This whole thing with the zoo, it kind of seems random. But I guess, okay, yeah, the lions, the bears, just need the tigers for oh my. But Magilla the gorilla, this shows that even Spider-Man can deal with animals. Also shows a bit of reference I'm sure nobody will remember. Frank Buck. I'm sure people are like, who the fuck is Frank Buck? Well, he was an animal collector from back in the day. He was actually in a couple films based on his supposed explorations. But he was an animal collector, like getting animals for zoos. And he went to the safari. And again, there were some movies based, I forget what the movies were called, but that's who Frank Buck. Because anytime I think of Buck, I always think of, my name's Buck and I like to fuck. Although if this guy liked to fuck, it'd be probably the gorilla fucking him. Did new mean to that song, do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. So, Doc Ock's dropping signs and shit. Going up the Tower of Pain. I'm gonna wrap you around this golden dick. I like some of these maneuvers showing Spider-Man's agility. I do like that. I do like this maneuver that he dives down and does like a pull him, like a slingshot upward. Gotcha, motherfucker. Smack him right in the face. Like he deserves. Slam your ass right down there. But I will say this is a pretty lengthy chase. I do like it, especially like they get to it. Was it a sci-fi movie? Is this the one? Or is it another one? It might be Mysterio actually. Mysterio. I may be thinking of that. But yeah, this is a sculptor studio. That's what it is. Shows that he's got his handy extra cartridges. I like this idea of having this shield and stepping stones. Shows more he could do with that. Yeah, Doc Ock was pinned down. I don't know how he even got out of it. Because it collapsed. So I guess it collapsed, but it didn't kill him. Because, you know, back to the day, they definitely... Well, Uncle Ben died, but you didn't see it. I mean, it makes sense. You know, Parker doesn't want to cheat on Betty. The idea of dealing with Betty. So he's like, I don't want to cheat on her. I don't want to be like some asshole where, hey, this girl likes me, but I'm just going to lead her on, so... Kind of a weird... is this how people talked back in the day? Don't say it, Flash. We rated that after the way we've always treated Peter. Is that a phrase? We rated that? I mean, meant to say we deserve that, but maybe that's a saying from back to the day. But I never hear anyone go, we rated that. Good thing that T's not a P. It'd be a different sentence. We rate that ass, Peter Parker. More like Peter Porker. Parker's pudgy pucker got porked. That'd be a different movie. Or a different comic. But yeah, it seems like a happy ending, and I like what it says here. We don't always have unhappy endings. Ups and downs. If he thinks everything's going to stay rosy, or you think he doesn't suspect what's in it, that's... Yeah. There's always something to flip over Spider-Man, eventually. And then gets to number 13, which is Mysterio. Interesting villain. He would be in my top 10 villains of Spider-Man. I don't know what list I would give. I mean, I would say at least, for villains of Spider-Man, somewhere in there, Doc Ock, Venom, Carnage, and top 10 Mysterio. I like the Sandman, Green Goblin. There's a lot. Kraven the Hunter's interesting, and he's in one of these issues. He has a lot. He's got the Rhino. He's got Shocker. He's got... Yeah, he's got a lot. I'd have to think about it. Yeah, he's a lot of cool villains. But see, we get the idea that Spider-Man committed a crime. I mean, we kind of did this with the Chameleon. I think that was in an earlier comic, only this one. And that one, Chameleon had like an actual gun. Here, it looks like Spider-Man really is stealing stuff. Even parachute. And, hey, cancel culture today. One bad newspaper and everyone automatically thinks he's an asshole. He's a piece of shit. And even he's like... Which is weird that Peter Parker would do this. I understand he's got... Oh, well... You've dealt with people who fate being you. The Chameleon. I believe he was in an earlier issue. And... I think... And if you can make that web, someone else could. It's not like an impossible thing to do. But then he just thinks it's a split personality. I thought this is a weird bit where he goes to a psychiatrist, but then goes, if I just... I'm liable to give away my secret identity. Yeah, he's a fucking psychiatrist. That seems to seem really random. I don't... Like, he's not smart enough to know going to a psychiatrist is a bad idea until he gets there. And he's like, nah, I better not go tell the psychiatrist everything about me. And, like, the fact that he just thinks he has split personality, again, with this world where... If a Fantastic... I mean... I don't know. Maybe investigate the crime scenes a little bit more. Study the web, study the stuff that was used, if there's any clues or remains. Instead of just going to, I must have a split personality. I thought that was a bit weird. And of course the people, you know, turn on him. Cancel culture. Which, fuck, I mean, I haven't seen the film yet, but they're doing that in the new Superman. So there you go. It's not an original idea. It was here, you know, with Spider-Man and plenty of others. I know my friend Michael, he saw in a Transformers cartoon, so it's not like it's an original idea. But Mysterio, I think I just liked the theatricality and the look. It may seem like a very, quote, cheesy look, but it's different. I don't know if it goes into who he is, because I read this, but I don't remember going to the details of who Mysterio is. Because more of like, here we have the action bits, and it seems like he can't get a handle on Mysterio. He even dissolved his webbing. He can't make heads or tails. I do like, I forget, someone looked at Mysterio's costume, they go, he's cornier looking than Spider-Man. I thought that was a pretty funny line. Interesting dichotomy that Flash Thompson, the guy who bullies Peter Parker, is the one guy who's the Spider-Man superfan and will bully Spider-Man no matter what. We got the comeback of that tracker that we saw earlier, as well as the spider spotlight. So here we have a little bit of who he is, yeah. Why he decides to tell Spider-Man the whole story, I don't know. It's like the James Bond factor. I'm just going to tell you everything about my plan for no reason. So yeah, it shows he's special effects guy. Imitate you. Study your stuff. Steal. Frame you. I don't like the movie Spider-Man Far From Home, but I do think Jake Gyllenhaal did a good job as Mysterio. I thought he did a good job. If it was back to the day, someone like Bruce Campbell or someone like that could have done a good job playing Mysterio. I think people were thinking, because Spider-Man was being directed by Sam Raimi, I mean, he kept putting Bruce Campbell in every film as a different character. It kind of would have been cool if, he was Mysterio. Maybe he's an effects, and an actor. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things, like, you could make an actual backstory where how do I put it? He did that gig at the wrestling thing as a favor or an extra payday, because the acting, he hasn't got much acting, so okay, I'll host this wrestling gig. Ever since he saw Spider-Man, oh, I gotta follow this guy. So then he uses, his acting effect skills to have a mustache and be the waiter, or be the guy to, hey, fix your tie. I forget which one was I think that was the second film, the tie thing, and then the French guy was the third one. They're all the same guy, and it's Mysterio, who's been studying him the whole time. Study how it makes him tick. I know it's thin. It's anorexic, it's Ally McBeal. But, I mean, I've heard dumber and worse. Again, why he decides to tell his whole plan. But he remembers he's got Spidey sense and able to... I like the fact that it's on a sci-fi movie set. I don't have time to get a union car right now. I do like it's part of a movie, a sci-fi set. I thought it was a really cool backdrop. Punch it and jump in his ass. I thought that was really cool. I thought that was really neat. Made for a fun chase. Using Spidey sense, kick his ass. J. Jonah, you fucked up, man. Of course, I'm fucking with J. Jonah like he deserves. Of course, Peter Parker wants to talk trash about Spider-Man, so be less likely people think he is Spider-Man. So I thought this was a fun one. I would say of the three so far, number 11, The Return of Doc Ock, I probably, um, hmm. I don't know, they each had their moments. I liked all three. I don't know. I don't know which I like more of the three. I would say this one, oh, actually the next one. The number 15 is my favorite, which we'll get to. But first we got the Green Goblin. And I forgot this is actually the introduction of the Green Goblin. I guess they felt we had to put the Hulk in here, which seemed really random. That's the thing. It's like it starts off like Green Goblin, then all of a sudden becomes like a Hulk comic. It's like, what? I think these guys we've seen before in a comic. I wasn't really big on. I forget what their name. The Enforcers. I wasn't big on the Enforcers. I wasn't big on them and these characters. And Spider-Man had to take. They just seemed like very low-level villains compared to the Green Goblin. They just have a more defined look, skills, like to the point that people remember the Green Goblin. Hell, the first time I saw the Green Goblin was in Maximum Overdrive, because it was the face of the truck. So he hires these guys to get Spider-Man. I like the idea that he has this plan to have a movie set. I represent BJ Cosmos and he wants you to star in a movie. I mean, I didn't know Spider-Man all of a sudden wanted to be an actor in a movie, but I mean, I guess, okay. I guess, hey, it's money. The Spider-Man story, I mean, kind of a lame title. Of course, have it be the title of the other, comics that would come out later. The Spectacular Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man. But the Spider-Man story seems like an expose, like the E True Hollywood story. Yeah, $50,000 for anime. So, of course, he's not going to get that money. Because remember, at one point, they would have to write him a check, and he can't cash the check because he did that before. That's why he stopped doing commercials or whatever the hell it was, that he couldn't cash a check. So what, he thinks they don't give him $50,000 in cash? Did he say that? Don't want any interviews, no publicity, no sightseers. It didn't should have said also I need that in cash. I need that in cash right now, goddammit. Of course, someone's gotta. Just that one, I'll do that one text. Again, whole day, nothing. Right here, then they gotta fucking text the storm. Again, why do you ignore it? Just how it is with me. Sorry about that. How he can't tell those are the real enforcers, I don't know. That was a bit weird. It's an interesting idea to put him on a movie set, but I mean, he should have been a bit more aware of his surroundings, a bit more due diligence. Seems like a trap he could have easily. But you know, get some nice action. Whipping up a cloud and all that. I like the look of the Green Goblin. It's interesting kind of like how you see how this starts, and then he becomes such a memorable villain for personal reasons. Being Osborn, and the father of his best friend Harry, and then the death of Gwen Stacy. I mean, if you saw his character here, you never think he'd be that personal with Peter Parker and Spider-Man in the future. So it shows just how things can kind of bob and weave through the sands of time. Here, it was just, he's a cool-looking villain. And then all of a sudden, apparently in the cave, Hulk was hiding. I mean, it just seemed really random. Very fucking random. I mean, you'd have a Hulk, which there have been. Hulk could have been his own comic of Spider-Man and Hulk. Why they had to put him in here kind of a second fiddle to the story, I don't know. Where he's just dodging throughout the cave. Dodging some more. Punched him, didn't do anything. Of course, this is the Hulk. Tricked Hulk into doing that, so he'd get away. And the Green Goblin gets away. Doesn't get the money. Again, Hulk just walks away. They do hide his identity, so they must have known at least something about what they'll do with him. Maybe not to this extreme. I mean, it's cool to see Green Goblin. It's just interesting to see how the first time we see him is connected with the Enforcer guys. And that the Hulk was in his first appearance as well. Again, it was weird to put both of them in. Again, the Hulk seemed like really random. I mean, it's always cool to see the Hulk. This is the good Hulk, not the Mark Ruffalo pussy Hulk. So there's always that. You know, as long as that Mark Ruffalo Hulk or She-Hulk, the TV show, then it's all good. But it just seemed random. Now, this was my favorite of the 5 he sent, Kraven the Hunter. Because Kraven, you know, there was a terrible movie, terrible film, where miscast. Aaron Taylor Johnson is not the right choice for Kraven. Kraven did not need his own film. Kraven does not work without Spider-Man. And then it's like he's kind of a villain. But then in the movie they made him like an anti-hero. And it's like, what the hell? What are you doing? And they wonder why it bombed so badly. But yeah, I know we have the Return of the Chameleon. Just Spider-Man, I like that it starts right off with the action of getting these bad guys, and then we're reintroduced to the Chameleon. And yeah, this is the comic from before. So yeah, I was right. So I was right. Chameleon was in this before. And oh yeah. So that's yeah, and then Chameleon was of course in Kraven the Hunter. Only it was his brother. They were brothers. Here it's just an old friend. Most dangerous stalker on earth, and I need to hunt him. I need him hunted. By God, going up to the most dangerous game. Using his abilities. How he goes against animals and stuff. I just like the look of Kraven the Hunter. This is actually a similar pose that was in one of the, I think the Doc Ock comics that we saw earlier. Him kind of going, like when he's on the boat or something. So we have Kraven studying his prey to see how he moves. So we did a nice action scene here where he just beats the shit out of everybody, outmaneuvers them. So he's able to take the hit. The same punched him down a full-grown charging rhino. So he's a tough guy. Now, granted, is he tough enough like Spider-Man has pretty super strength. You would think he'd be able to use one punch and just knock this guy out, or one punch and just one punch to like break his arm. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Kraven the Hunter is strong, but is he like that super duper strong? I mean, as he puts it, I can't defeat him fairly, so at least they mentioned that. Of course, girl troubles, as always the case. The thing with the nerves from before. And this doctor's like, I mean, this teacher's being a dick. I mean, how you know, like, maybe, I don't know, maybe he had a damn stroke, you don't know. You know, he doesn't do this stuff. He didn't do it on purpose. I think what I liked about is this whole hunt in the park, where you have these certain traps and how Spidey gets out of it, dodging them, all that stuff. I like the idea of this clamp metal that connects his arm to his leg. I thought that was pretty cool idea. Just more for Spider-Man to overcome. Using his wit, agility, how to use his webs. There were two of them, so Chameleon's a cheating dick. Almost like Spider-Man versus, well, I would say the Predator, but you know, a hunter type of thing. Just bring a different dynamic to it. Yeah, I like the poses. Outmaneuvering. Outthinking Kraven. And fucks his day up. So Baby Brand's pissed at him, and he's like, "Fine, I'll call Liz Allen, goddammit." And now Liz, you know, remember the one issue or so before? Oh yeah, everything's going well with the girls, but nope, not anymore. The fact that all they do is get deported, I thought was a bit weird. Like, out of all that, all they do is get deported. Isn't this guy a thief? The Chameleon, but he just gets deported. Well, this is you both getting off mighty easy. But why are they getting off easy? That's my question. Why are you getting off easy? Got tears about these letters too. So one says about Spider-Man far ahead of any other superhero on the field. So a kid from Colgate U school newspaper. Spider-Man strives for status in competitive comic world of insecure superheroes. Then we have someone who's in Greece. Lots of kids whose dads are stationed here in Greece buy your classy mags. I also find great enjoyment reading Spider-Man. At the air base, the comics cost 12 cents as usual, but people that can't buy things on the base have to pay 7, I guess, more elsewhere, which is about 20 cents. Listen, if you can't afford 20 cents, but I mean, this is back to the day, 20, I mean, can you imagine nowadays someone's like, I can't afford 20 cents. Gosha What the fuck is Gosha Like a weird form of Tootie? Tutti Frutti. Ah, so someone didn't like Spider-Man number 8. Well, I think it was great. Don't be mad at Joe, Nick. He's really one of our best fans. Don't be mad at Joe, Killer Joe. Joe, no. Not Joe. Maybe fuck Joe. I'll be mad for you. Stan and Steve. I'll be mad for you. Fuck Joe. Nah, I don't know Joe. He's probably dead now, so sorry, Joe. Sorry. Wow, I never did consider Dr. Octopus as a good villain, and the Spider-Man number 11 surpassed my expectations by leaps and bounds. Very cool. Yeah, I would say that I liked more than the previous. I didn't agree with that. The previous Dr. Oct story, I liked the stuff with Betty Brant. I liked that a bit more. So one guy wrote in the form of Spider-Man's costume. Oh, and Daredevil, the new superhero. Daredevil number 2 by now. Featuring Spidey's old archenemy Electro. I didn't know Electro fought Daredevil that early on. Well, there you go. So yeah, just going through this, I thought that was kind of neat, each one of these. But I mean, you know what? That's the thing with comic books. Which I know, even by doing this, may seem sacrilege that I'm not reading it on an actual paper, comic thing. But number one, more likely these are going to be really fucking expensive. And I just don't have the money to buy these really old, expensive, Amazing Spider-Mans to do this video. It's number one. Number two, comic books today, I cannot remember the last time I bought a newer comic. Because I guess I could, I could stop this recording here and continue with this. First off, thank you, Nicholas. I appreciate it. Number two, I liked all 5 of these stories. I thought all 5 were fine. The Return of Doc Ock, I thought with the Betty Brant subplot, the whole thing with the Betty Brant's brother, surprised that he got killed. I liked the chase with Doc on the boat. Issue 12, I liked the idea of having oh my god, his identity, and then why that came about, and I bought why people didn't believe why he was Spider-Man. The bit with the zoo animals does seem pretty random. Got to deal with the gorilla, the lion, the bear. Need some tigers. But I thought the last battle was fun. The air shaft, the slingshot using the shield, stepping stones, the web as those two things to get out of the fire. I thought that stuff was cool. It was a fun bit of a battle. Mysterio, I like to fight him on the sci-fi movie set. I thought that was cool. Stupid that the whole psychiatrist thing. I need a psychiatrist. Wait, no I don't. Thought that was kind of weird. Green Goblin, kind of an interesting idea to trick Spider-Man he's going to star in a movie. But yet the Enforcers, I've just never been big on them. I just don't find them that interesting, visually or character-wise or personality-wise. I just don't view them as a threat to Spider-Man. I just don't find them that interesting. But it's cool to see Green Goblin. Yeah, I forgot that was how he first started. Was kind of that way. And again, the put the Hulk in there seemed random. I guess I would say maybe that's my least favorite of the 5. Just because I know just how much Green Goblin's going to grow and become much more essential to the story. But it was interesting to see. And again, Kraven's my favorite of the 5. I like this kind of ongoing thing where he's numb. Spider-Man's numb. He's got these shaking hands. I like the whole finale. Again, in the park, the magnets with the wrist and the ankle laid, connecting him. Just all these obstacles he's got to overcome, and using his wit, his agility, able to overcome and beat the Hunter. I thought that was a fun fight, fun battle. And then Kraven the Hunter, I just find an interesting character. I mean, of course, people will think of Kraven's was the Last Hunt, was just one of the better Spider-Man stories. What year was that? 1987. Okay. Just I forgot the year. But yeah, this was cool to see, so thank you, Nicholas. Sorry about the wait, but I figured I'd make this a longer video. Sort of, you know, sorry that it's so late. Try and get these out as soon as I can. But I would say with comic books, just give this kind of little thing at the end, why not? Growing up, I did collect some comic books. It was mainly Spider-Man. So it'd be like the 90s circuit of Spider-Man. Some Punisher comics. I got the Preacher, most of the Preacher comics up there. Which I like that line, Preacher. And some Ninja Turtles. That was a bit later on, when I was in my probably mid-late teens, into the Ninja Turtle comics, because I only knew them from the 80s cartoon and the 1990 movies to start with. But after that, when I got into my 20s, I really didn't collect comics anymore. I think just, number one, where I was living at the time, there was just nowhere that comics were sold. There was no comic book shop nearby. There was nowhere to buy them. I mean, I guess even at that time could have ordered them online, but I was so far gone with comics, I didn't know what was in, what was out, where to even start, that I just kind of, whatever. I mean, what I would like to do one day, I don't know, The Punisher. I would like to get a lot of those older comics. I think you can get like an omnibus, maybe like the Garth Ennis, but I mean like the older Punisher comics, like the ones in the 80s and 90s. I don't know if there's omnibus for them, but even if there were, they'd probably be really expensive. But like Punisher Warzone, is it War? Well, that's a movie, but I think the comic as well. Again, I have a few Punisher comics, but not too many anymore. I got a decent amount in that other rooms of Ninja Turtle comics. I don't know if I don't think I've done a video showing my comic book collection. Yeah, I don't think I have. But I mean, I didn't think anyone would give a shit. But the sad thing about comic books today, you just sift through it. You just sift through it online. They put a lot of bullshit out, and there was a couple years where it was just so much. I know people hate the term woke, but they did put a lot of that shit, and they try to force tier like Ironheart. No one gave a fuck about Ironheart, the comic, Captain Marvel, the way they did. A lot of these fucking Superman's kid is gay. I don't give a fuck what pole he sucks. I don't care. Why should I give a shit? And just like all this other stupid shit, I'm like, fuck this. And maybe I'm wrong, but comics seem like they're in a bad shape, bad state of affairs. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm actually surprised comics are still kind of around. But I could see one day only being a digital thing where subscribe to this, you pay each month, you get a comic every, I don't know, however long they have it takes for them to make a comic. I could just see that happening one day. I mean, there could be like specialties where it's like we'll make a comic for, they'll do like a Kickstarter or something. I know there's people on YouTube that do comics, but honestly, none of them. I mean, some of the personalities I like, but I don't give a shit about their, like, what was it, Eric July? Seems like a cool guy. I don't give a fuck about his comic. I like some of his videos. I don't care about his comic. I just don't. I think maybe with comics today, if I read older comics, I would rather read old Superman, old Spider-Man, old Punisher, the old Ninja Turtles, like the mainstays of characters I like. And maybe one day, if there's a decent amount of omnibus, but maybe one day collect them, who knows. But other than that, like, I like doing this. I like this. Someday I have to look up like the Punisher and other stuff, but like these are kind of cool to read and look through, look back. And I do it this way so you have something to look at, something visually instead of just me talking to the camera, and you kind of look at the comments along with me. So we're doing it together in a way. And if I'm blabbing along and you don't care, you read what's on the page. So with that said, this stuff is fun. Thank you once again, Nicholas. Take care, everyone. And we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.